right, it's time. It's 9 p.m. Eastern Daytime, and we're getting started with the MOBE Elite Earners call. Again, my name is Unique van den Bos. I'm an affiliate manager here with MOBE, and in today's MOBE Elite Earners call, we actually have a power couple, retired out of Winnipeg, Manitoba, in Canada, and they've been having some great results here with MOBE. And also, what I like about this couple, they have a very inspiring story. So this power couple's name is Brian Dianna O'Keefe. And if you guys are there, just unmute the mic and say hi to everybody here on the line. Let's see, I think I muted your guys. Let's see if I can unmute. Brian, are you there?
No. Oh, okay, here we go. Sorry, I was just hey, technology. I'm not the smartest one with technology here. Just ask my wife.
That's totally fine. How are you guys doing tonight, Brian and Dianna?
We're doing great, thank you.
Yeah, we're doing great. Thank you for having us on.
Awesome. It's my total pleasure. So, as I said, you guys are retired, and correct me if I'm wrong. So, you guys are retired. You got started with MOBE in January, and you have been having results with MOBE. So, if it's okay with you guys, I'd just like to ask you guys a couple questions and see how you got the results, why you got started with MOBE, what your vision is, and also would like to know what your story is, just to inspire people that really everyday people, no matter what background, race, no matter where they are in the world, really are getting results with MOBE. So tell a little bit more about Brian and Dianna O'Keefe.
Thank you, Yannick. I'm 60. Now I'm 65. When we started this, it was at the end of last year. I actually received. I've had 3 spinal surgeries. I injured myself back in the late 70s, and I really have had a lot of back issues. And recently, a number of years ago, we lost our business and our home because of my inability to work and requiring my 3rd surgery.
Mm-hmm.
We looked at different businesses online because that was really the only thing that we could do. And I got very frustrated. We got ripped off by a few people, and here today, gone tomorrow. And I really didn't want to get into where I had to inventory a lot of product or anything like that, even though we had done those kind of businesses in the past. But it was something that I really wasn't looking at. I'd done a lot of searching online for what we could do working from home. That was kind of where I was looking at, because I couldn't physically go out and work anymore. I have a lot of issues with my lower back and my legs.
Yeah.
And I received a package in the mail one day, and I looked at this, and I recognized one of the pictures in the package as someplace I knew, and there was an email address. So I emailed the gentleman and said, "Is this for real?" And he come back and said yes. And I said, "Is this money for real?" And he said yes. So I says, "Great, we need to talk."
Awesome.
And I'll let Dianna say.
Brian and I have been in a number of different marketing businesses before, more of the traditional one-to-one kind of thing where you do the hotel meetings and invite people over for dinner and have people jump out from behind the curtains to do the board plans and that type of thing. We had limited success with that, but we enjoyed working together. That's one thing that we've always been strong at. Early on in our relationship, we recognized that Brian had certain strengths where I was weak, and I had certain strengths where Brian needed help. So in that way, it really, really worked well for us to work together. When he started the MOBE business back at the beginning of the year, I was working in a small food production company, and it was a lot of repetitive work, which was starting to wear down my body. By this spring, it got to the point where I was having more and more trouble being productive at work. Things were starting to pick up with Brian's MOBE business, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to take that leap. I'm going to go out in faith, and I'm going to quit my job, and I'm going to work with Brian using my skills, which are a little more on the creative side, doing some writing and that type of thing. So together, Brian is fantastic on the phone talking to people one-on-one. He's excellent training people that way. My skills lie a little more in writing the blog posts and doing a couple of ebooks, which I've enjoyed doing, and that's sort of how we work things together.
That's great. That's great. Hey, and I heard a couple of things that you said, and you also said something about you started with, or you guys did a couple of MLM and network marketing conferences. That's correct, right?
Oh,
Right.
yes.
Yes.
So what made you make that switch from network marketing and to MOBE? And also, do you think it's easier to do MOBE, or do you say like, no, it's not that easy, or like, what made the transition? Because I think a lot of people get started with MLM, like myself. I started with MLM myself. Wasn't really my thing, but I would like to know from you guys, like, what made that switch?
I think the biggest thing for us was not having to buy product and inventory and do the home meetings. And I think a lot of people, they're kind of burned out or stressed out on that. I mean, nutrition products are great. Don't get me wrong. I think everybody needs them. But I think to build a long-term residual income along that business method is really dated. I think one of the things that attracted me to MOBE was the fact that it is a global company selling digital training products. I didn't have to purchase inventory. I also didn't have to pick up the phone. And one of the things, I don't mind talking on the phone. I don't mind talking to people, but I hate cold calls. I think a lot of people do, and you know where you are. I hate cold calls.
Yeah.
But I do like, if we're talking about something like the MOBE program here, great. I think I can understand it. I can explain it very well. So it is online business education, and that is what I like about it. I grew up, I'm 65 years old, I did not grow up with a computer. I did not grow up with any of these things like the smartphones and things that people have nowadays. And I found that my personal challenge has been very difficult in the transition between my system of doing things, which was the paper shuffle, versus everything online. When I told my sponsor, when we first sat down and met with them, that we don't know anything about social media, we don't know how these things work, I was being honest. We don't. We kind of come through the gates and it's like, what do we do? And oh my Lord, did we make the right decision? Because we did come in at the platinum level, and it's like, wow. But we are learning slowly, one step at a time. And when we went to where this photograph is taken here now, Punta Cana, we learned what we did the right way to do things. We just kind of stepped back and kind of let some other people take the lead for us on this. And now we've kind of gone forward. Now we're beginning to go forward and use the social network, the social the social media and the Facebook and the Twitters and the LinkedIn's, and I still have no idea what to do with any of it, but they say we've got it up and running now, so okay, let's see what happens now.
All right. And like when you started in January, how long did it take you to start seeing your first results with MOBE?
We saw our first results in January.
Wow.
The company's got it is very simple what they have. They have a coach.
Yeah.
Coach, you have tools, and then you have a system. Mm-hmm. And what we did was I listened to the coach, I used the tools, and I followed the system. And in our first month, we created 2,700 in our very first month. And of course,
could you repeat that? Sorry?
Was just blown away because.
How much was that?
What part?
How much did you make in
$2,700.
Nice.
Yeah, we thought so.
We thought so.
That's great. And how did you accomplish that? You were telling me that.
Well, I don't think it was so much what we did. I think it's what the coaches and the system did. If you use the tools and you follow the system, I think it's just a natural progression of what goes through. We purchased some ads. We purchased some leads, and they went through the system. The coaches called. The coaches did what it is the coaches did. And our first month we had a license. The second month we had our second license.
Nice. Very great. And I'm having having a fan here that is listening to this call, and he keeps saying it's only because you guys are awesome Canadians. So, yeah, thank you for thank you for sharing that. Yeah, the question, the message keeps coming in that you guys are awesome and amazing. I mean, it's a great inspiration because we have a lot of people that come into MOBE and they expect that you can just sit and do nothing and make money, but you guys really just follow step by step what's being taught, implement it, and actually are getting results. So this is what I think very impressive, because it is, if you're just able to be coachable and you're able to follow directions and you're open for advice and leadership, then you just have to follow and implement, right?
That was the biggest challenge I had. Both Dianna and I, when we were in the traditional, conventional, multi-level business, where we would do the presentations and things like this, we would be the ones standing up in front of the hotel room doing a presentation to 200 or 300 people with products and so on and so forth. With this, we had to step back and say, we have no idea what we're doing. Let the coaches walk us through and teach us and show us what to do next. And the fact that this is a global business online, that to me just blew me away. And I've got people in the business now, I have no idea who they are. I know they come from all over the place. And this is wonderful.
Great. And do you also connect with these people that come into your organization? Like you say that you place ads, you buy leads. Like, take us through a process. Like, how do you say, okay, I'm going to buy this ad or do this ad, and once the ads come in and they buy MTTB or they buy MLR, take us through the process. Like, do you connect with your people? Does it help to upgrade, or are you really just buying the traffic and letting the system do its work?
Well, I first did that. I was just buying leads, buying traffic and putting them in through the system. We've now got a couple, the 3 actually capture pages that we use. Dianna has been very nice in creating a couple free ebooks and reports that we are giving away free to capture names and emails. And then through that and through the blog, that we promote the blog quite a bit, and you can see that there's a lot of links on the blog to the various, through either to the MTTB program or through the some of the events coming in, or some of the products that we have available.
All right. And with the traffic that you're using right now, are you solely sending them to MTTB or also to the I Am Freedom workshops?
Now, at this point, we have doing a lot with the MTTBs. I have not been doing the I Am workshops. I understand there's the next one is in Seattle, is it? Next month? Next week?
I have to check. I'm not sure, to be honest.
Right. I am not too sure. To be honest with you, I have a little bit of a challenge trying to navigate the back office as far as where some of these are located. Yeah.
Well, that's only good, because I mean, you're finding it hard to use the technology, but you're still making money with it. It's only great to hear.
We're trying. There's that old saying: if you throw enough stuff against the wall, some of it's going to stick.
Yes. Actually, Leslie Little's asking, what level are you guys in at MOBE? So, you guys are platinum members, right?
We actually came in at platinum, yes.
All right. So you guys got started. So Leslie, Brian Dianna actually got started straight from January at platinum. And how much did you guys make so far in commissions?
Well, I don't want to go into totally how much, but we've actually had one of our members went to platinum.
All right.
So that in itself is, that was a $9,000 commission right there.
Awesome. That's great. That's great. So you guys are definitely making money with the system. That's awesome to hear. So what is your vision? What is your plan with MOBE? Like, where do you want to take it, and why do you do what you do? Like, who do you want to inspire?
Do you want to answer some of this?
Sure, I can jump in here. As far as where we want to go with this is our retirement fund. As Brian said, because of his earlier back injury, this is something that's been plaguing him for a good 40 years now, so it's affected a large part of his working career throughout his life, and as such, we're sort of left with no pension and very little savings left, and this was kind of something that we knew we needed, something that was a top-tier product so that it would bring in the funds that we needed. So we've got to go all the way to the top with this. There's no turning back. At this point, we're both putting in pretty much full-time hours into this. This has become our job. We are retired, but we are full-time MOBE employees, if you wish.
Mobites.
Mobite, yes. As for who we're working towards helping, because of our age group and the things that we have gone through together, we've really got a heart for working with baby boomers, with people that are either looking towards retirement in the very near future or are already there, or people that, like Brian, they haven't been able to work their full 40-year career because of an injury or some issue that has happened beyond their control. So the funds that they were expecting to retire on and all those big dreams that they had for retiring and spending time with family or traveling or having the dream home, whatever it may be, and every dream is different.
Yeah.
But the situations that they find themselves in just kind of haven't brought those dreams into reality. And we'd like to work with people like that, whether in the retirement age group, which is, again, where we are, something like that, because that's where our heart is, to work with those people and to help them, give them a hand up.
That's great. Yeah, you guys have a great heart. So, and I think there's a lot of people in the world that, that are in the same situation as you, looking for, a way to create that extra income, or to actually save up that income for the golden days. So there should be a big market out there that you can inspire. And I believe you're doing it right now too. And I believe you're doing it right now also to blogging. So how do you come up with the content for your blog? And do you blog also every day?
No, I can't say that I do it every day. I try to do it at least 2 to 3 times a week. And there are different things that'll kind of inspire me. One of the things that today I sat down and I wrote a number of blogs to kind of get them done ahead of time, that I can just kind of drop them in anytime I want to. All of a sudden I've got a dead day creatively. I've still got something to go back to. But there's a gentleman in our town that goes for a walk every day. We'll see him, doesn't matter, rain or shine, summer, winter. He goes out for a walk down the highway, and he will literally walk up to 6 miles a day. And if you look at this guy, I've never spoken to him, but he looks like he's got to be in his 70s, possibly even his 80s. He just sort of shuffles along. But the persistence in that man to get out every day, no matter what the weather is, I mean, that's the kind of persistence that an entrepreneur needs to get out and build their business. And even if it's raining or you're not feeling good or the day's just kicked you down, you got to get out and you've got to find something good and you've got to do something else and get out and take another step.
Now, the biggest thing with this guy, I got to tell you. Now, Yannick, you know where we live. You know the temperature in the wintertime here drops to -20, -30 for a daytime high. This guy is out there bundled up, -20 with a 20-mile-an-hour wind, and he's out there walking 3 to 5 miles every single day, even in the dead of winter.
Wow.
Talk about commitment.
If we as entrepreneurs can put that kind of mentality behind us to get out there every day, there is going to be absolutely no stopping us.
Yep.
That's amazing.
And that's the kind of thing that I will see throughout the day, that all of a sudden, hey, that'd be a good story to tell. And that's where a lot of my inspiration comes from, just the things that I see around me.
Well, you went out yesterday and you took some photographs. Like I was saying before we went live, we had some storms come through here, and we've got some very strong thunderstorms and heavy winds. Well, this is a big farming community, and in farming communities, you have a lot of wheat fields, grain fields, and all kinds of stuff. And when you get the big winds come down, guess what? They will flatten the crops.
Yeah.
So Diana went out a couple days ago, yesterday, whatever it was, stood on the car and started taking some pictures of the flat crops. And the reason being is that she's going to use that in one of the blogs.
Again, it was an inspiration for a blog that's coming up.
Yep.
Now, if
Yeah.
anybody is curious and wants to read some of my blog posts, they can absolutely go to the site. It's retiredandonline.com.
All right, awesome. Yeah, I'll just
Can we do a plug like that, by the way?
Too late, it's done.
It's already done. It's okay, guys.
Oh, great. I
It's,
love
it's
it. I
okay.
love it.
It's okay, guys. So,
Yeah.
I had a couple questions here that are coming in. So, Chris is asking, did you ever bought traffic from We So Good Traffic?
Yes,
All right. David is asking, are you also buying solo ads? Are the ads solo ads?
I have done. Yes.
And then also another question is, do you guys use MTTB or TTI system or a combination of both?
Yes. Combination.
Combination of both. Well, that's easy.
Yes.
And then I have another.
I just want to, oh, sorry, one more question. Go ahead.
No, and then another one's like, go baby boomers. That's another fan here for you guys.
Oh, hey! Yes, go baby booms. One of the things, and you know, you want to know how I made money the first month, is we sell good traffic.
Great.
We did buy it because this is one of the things that one of my coaches said, you know, go buy this, because he knew I didn't have any experience with online marketing. I had no social, I didn't have a Facebook list. I had no Twitter list. I had nothing like that. I started with zero. So the suggestion was go buy some traffic, and I did, and I bought the big package. But what happened there is the first month, somebody converted to an MLR. The second month, another one converted to an MLR. All right? And that is what started the cash flow coming in. And then we've had one on the third, and then two on the fourth month, and then the third person upgraded to a platinum. And this is kind of nice to see how the system actually works, using the coaches and the tools and the system.
Great. Yes.
But you
Yeah.
got to create the funnel.
So what do you mean with the funnel? You mean the front end that you guys use?
Well, the funnel is we have some squeeze pages or capture pages. Diana has written a couple ebooks. We also have a report that we give away for those people that come in. Those are what we advertise when we advertise. And people come in, fill out their name and email, goes into the funnel, and we just start the email drip on them.
Perfect. And if you guys, if you're listening to this call and you think like, hey, I'm not a great writer, or I don't know how to write an ebook or report, it's very easy to get it like written by outsourcers. You will just go to Odesk, Elancer, or freelancer.com, maybe even Fiverr.com, like any of the outsourcing websites that allow you to post a job ad and basically ask the people on the website, hey, I need some help. I need a free report. These are the details. How much does it cost? And I can really say maybe it costs you like a $40 or $30 or $50, even if it's $100. If you can just make one MLR sale out of that report, you will still recoup that investment.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This is an investment in yourself. I don't think of it, you do have your negative sayers out there. They take a look and say, oh, no, it's a scam or whatever. But, if you just continue, and Winston Churchill said during the war, never, never, never quit. The biggest thing you've got to do is to find your why. Why did you get into this business? Or why do you want to get in this business? Or what is it that you're looking for and why? And if that why is strong enough, it doesn't matter how cold the winter is. It doesn't matter how far you got to walk. You're going to succeed. But the secret is you got to get up one more time.
Right.
The definition of success is getting up one more time. A failure is somebody that falls down and stays down.
Yeah.
If I wanted that, I've had so many opportunities with my back and through situations that I've had that I've lost my home and business and so on, my other business, that I wasn't able to. And I've had people tell me, why are you doing this? Go on welfare, go on social assistance, go on, but that's not me. I never have been like that. I'm a fighter. I'm a scrapper. I want to get out there and better myself.
Right. That's great, man. And actually, I've seen it in real life. I mean, we met each other in the Dominican Republic, in Punta Cana.
Yes.
And, I saw you struggle. to sit in a chair for a couple hours. So you had to walk out, but some people could go back to the room and just lay in bed for the rest of the day. But you just walk out, you walk around, and you walk back in, and I think it was day 3 or day 4, you just started laying on the ground in the actual conference room. And I mean, yeah, it's a true story. You actually did that.
Yeah, and this is the thing. I got to tell you about that. I actually had a job where I was doing a lot of phone work for somebody, and I couldn't sit. So
Yes.
I was in an office. I lied down behind the desk. Nobody could see me. I lied down on the floor. I had a headset on, and I was doing the calls that I was required to do. And the boss walked along. He could hear me, but he couldn't see me. And he took a look, and he come into the office. He stuck his head around the corner where I was lying on the ground, and he shook his head, and he said, "This will never do." And, I was gone by the afternoon because he only saw somebody lying down on the floor, even though I was doing my job. He let me go, and I was gone that afternoon. And you know what? If I have to lie down so I can continue listening to one of the presenters and the speakers, I will damn well do it. You got to do what you got to do to succeed.
Yes, I can only
Yeah,
respect that. I
I've
mean,
made a lot of mistakes in this business. It's cost us a lot of money and a lot of time, but we're not giving up. Are you giving up?
I'm not giving up.
We're
I'm
not
having too
giving
much fun.
You know what? When they pay you in this company, it's awesome,
yes.
right?
Wow. Exactly.
Yeah, it is awesome. And
Uh,
you know what? When we met in Dominican Republic, Punta Cana there, I mean, that was an awesome result.
yes, exactly. And I walked into the room and I saw you laying there. I was like, hey, what's going on here? Maybe I thought maybe you were just tired, but then I heard the story about your back. I was like, wow, respect, because you could have just gone out of the room and gone back to the room or just laid down by the pool or on the beach, but you just did whatever necessary to make it happen and stay in the room.
Well, it was very tempting to go lie down by the pool on the beach, believe you me. But, I was there for a purpose, and that purpose was to learn,
Yes.
to see what this is all about. That was our very first function that we went.
Yes.
And it was to see how the business worked, how the system worked, and what do I have to do to take that next step to ensure our financial future. And as a boomer, there's a lot of people out there that are hurting, and we want to be able to help them.
Yes.
A lot of people have helped us, Yannick, and previously, because of my inability to work, and you end up with a lot of people helping you many different ways, financially and other ways, and it's our turn to give back.
Amazing.
And that is what we want to do. We want to give back.
And by you saying giving back, I actually have another question here from Thomas, who's asking, where are you running your material and how are you targeting? So, when you say you're doing the ebooks and the funnels and the reports, how do you make sure that they get into the right hand, which would, I assume, be the baby boomer, based on what you told me?
Well, at this point, it's a little bit of a shotgun approach with us because I'm still learning where to go and what to do. We're doing some on Facebook. Traffic Masters Academy, I've been watching Michelle videos and stuff like this as to what to do. We're still a total mess when it comes to this because it's not natural for me. I just don't understand. I got a whole bunch of Twitter feeds and I don't know what to do with them.
If anybody wants to teach us, you're welcome too.
Oh yeah, please. I mean, I got like 80 Twitters here and I have no idea what to do with them. So you talk about I'm really not too sharp here? Absolutely. Give me a piece of paper, I can handle that. But this other stuff, there might be some people on there that know me, so I shouldn't, But yeah, at this point, it's more of a shotgun than a targeted thing, and I know I have to tweak it and really target market. And these are things that I hope that, when we get down to Vegas and we can take a look and we can talk to the powers to be down there and say, hey, specifically, what do we need to do? And,
Yes.
and this is what I'm learning every day. This is my first 6 months in the business, so I don't know it all. We're really, this is a very steep learning curve for both Diana and I.
Yeah. Well, I still congratulate you because some people, it takes them a couple of years to make their first money online, and you did it in your first month. So definitely congratulations to you. And for the people that say that, for people that think that, hey, he mentions Las Vegas. This is actually for the Supercharge Summit that is happening on the 14th, 15th, and 16th of August in Las Vegas. We still have a couple of discounted rooms available. If you're a platinum partner or a diamond partner, your ticket is for free. And we also have some tickets available for MLRs entertainers. This is only for MOBE affiliates. So if you're interested, just go to superchargesummit.com. But yeah, just definitely make it out there to Las Vegas. It's going to be awesome. I think right now we have about 150 people coming. Diana's going to be there. Brian's going to be there. Myself, I'm going to be there. A lot of our top earners are going to be there. Matt Lloyd will be there. And actually, we have a special surprise guest who is going to be there. I'm not sure if Matt Lloyd released it yet, but he's as seen on TV. This is a small hint. But yeah, definitely make it out to Las Vegas. It's going to be amazing. And then I have another question here from Gil. Had you had any luck with solo ads?
Not to the extent that I would like to. I'm also having some challenge trying to.
There's two sides to solo ads though, because with solo ads you definitely also generating an email list. So sometimes
Right.
it takes a bit to warm those leads up to actually make them buy from you because they get a lot of offers in their mailbox.
Right.
There's also a different type of luck that instant sales type of luck. So Gil, there's actually two sides to it, but if you say not to the extent too, you have been generating leads from solo ads, I assume, right?
Yes.
All right. Let's see. Thomas is asking, what is your website? That is retiredandonline.com.
That's correct.
That's also David asked the same questions.
Thank you.
Let's see. John is asking, what is your main traffic source?
Yeah, dead air. No. Honey, what is the main traffic source?
Because it seems that you guys are doing a couple of things combined and generating results. So I heard you buying leads, you're doing blogging, you're doing some Facebook.
We're doing a combination of many different things. Arcomex is one of the companies we've used for advertising for solo ads. They've been doing double opt-ins for us, so that's a good way of actually how they've been downloading our ebooks, and we've been collecting names and emails.
Right. Okay. Let me see here. One second. What is Ankit is asking. All right, so this is actually a bit of an off-topic question, but what is the
Sure.
best place to promote Supercharge Summit via Facebook PPC or solo ads? Ankit, what I would do if you have an organization in MOBE or if you have a clients in MOBE, I would just contact them direct. I mean, if you are committed to actually go to the Supercharge, why don't you tell your people that are with you, your clients, like, hey, I'm going to the Supercharge in Las Vegas. Why don't you join me? Let's connect on a deeper level. Because I can tell you that if you meet people at an event, it takes your business to a next level because right now you're probably just sitting behind your laptop, maybe in your underwear, maybe in nothing. I don't know. But it's all still virtual. And if you actually make it out to an event, now you have opportunity to shake somebody's hand, to look in somebody's eyes and actually ask them the questions and be like, hey, what is your traffic source? Because online, you have to realize that people that are making money online, they probably get a dozen of messages a day or a week, uh, um, to their Facebook, to their email, from people that are just curious. But if somebody is curious, it doesn't necessarily mean they will take action on the information provided. So when somebody takes the time to give you a blueprint, and then you say, okay, thank you, and you move on to the next person, ask the same question without implementing it, you know, time is valuable. Money can buy a lot of things, but it cannot buy time. So by you showing up to an event or to a mastermind, it shows that commitment of, moving from your virtual desk or from a virtual environment and actually going to the physical and actually meeting somebody, shaking their hand, looking in the eyes like, hey, I stepped out of my chair and moved out of the house and went to an airplane. I moved all the way down from X city to Las Vegas or to the UK, and I attend the supercharge because I want to change my business and I want to change my life. Now you're going to have the really committed people. So when you now approach a top earner or someone that you look up to, it's going to be more convenient for this top earner or for this person that already knows what he's doing to exactly share what he's doing. And this is something that, a couple of years back, I had to learn the hard way because I was like, when I was looking for answers, I was like, hey, let me just ask all these people. And not everybody would respond, or they would try to sell me something, or whatever. But I then realized if I make it out to an event, people are more open because they can look in your eyes, they can see you serious, they can see you hungry, and now they're open to share with you. Now you can build this relationship that, if you ask something at an event and you guys connect on Facebook or on Skype, or sometimes you call, maybe a week later or a month later or 2 months down the road, you have a follow-up question like, hey, Tom, you told me to do X, Y, Z. I did X, Y, Z, and I get X, Y as result. How do I get to Z? And now Tom will tell you like, hey, tweak this, 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 and this, and that's how you get results. So if you're the person, that didn't make it out to an actual mastermind or to a summit, I really urge you to make it happen. Because I've been in that position, as I told you, a couple of years back, and I can tell you that my biggest breakthrough happened by going to seminars and events. So I just wanted to give, yeah, go on.
If I could just step in here at a moment, that is so true. We went to Punta Cana in the end of May, and we didn't have the money to go for it, but we went because we couldn't afford not to go. And you're absolutely right. You get the opportunity to meet with the leaders, to meet with people like you and I met.
Yes.
You knew me before I knew you because when I stood up there and you were talking, I don't even know what your presentation was, but I got up and I started talking, and you remember that and then you told me I know your story, and yet I have no idea who you were at the time.
Correct.
But then we can meet different people, and we met and we talked and we asked questions.
That's correct.
That is so good. So if you can afford, we're driving down. We're not flying, we're driving.
Wow.
I don't have a hard time at the airports. I just have a hard time waiting and waiting in line and going through the security lines and doing all of this kind of stuff. We can figure we can drive down to Vegas and back again. It's going to be cheaper cheaper than flying, but also as far as the time, it's going to take a little bit more time. But I have more control over how I can lie down in the car as opposed to standing up and sitting in an airplane.
Correct. That's right.
So that's
How many hours is that? Out of curiosity, how many hours is that from Canada to
It's
Las
only
Vegas?
about a 24-hour drive.
Sorry?
It's only about a 24-hour drive.
Wow.
So
That
it'll be
is
2 days.
Yeah, just do.
quite a travel. But again, that shows the dedication.
Well, again, we take a look at it as we got to do what we got to do in order to ensure our success in this business.
Yeah.
And if I can inspire somebody else that's just a guest on this right now to make the effort to go down there to connect with your sponsor or whatever, do it. Because that'll be the best decision you've ever made. We went down, when we went to Punta Cana, we went a few days before so I could rest up for the event. We stayed a couple days after, and all in told, we were there for about 12 days, and then the long flight home. And that just about killed me, that long flight home. But you know what? We met so many incredible people. We know where this business is going. We met people like you and our sponsors and other people down there that are just absolutely, there's some crazy people in this business. You don't have to be crazy to succeed in this business, but it really helps. This is good. And you guys enjoy the lifestyle.
Yes.
You
Oh,
enjoy the lifestyle. You work
yes.
hard, but you also play hard.
This lifestyle can definitely, be amazing. And, you sacrifice maybe a couple months, a weeks, months, years, but once you crack that code, it's amazing. And
And that's why we're in the process of learning.
yes. And it's okay because it's life. I mean, life will move forwards anyway. Either when you're stumbling and trying to make things happen, or when you give up, it will move. It will move forward. So why don't you just keep on trying, keep on learning, keep on educating yourself, so you become a better person, and you can actually eventually live that lifestyle, because it's definitely worth it. I mean,
Well,
it's yeah. You know it, Brian. I mean, I don't have to explain it to you. I just hope that we can inspire some people on this call to actually, push forward, and especially in the context of this call, also like to go to an actual event, because it will change your life.
Janik, if I may, I read a quote
Sure.
recently that said
Yeah.
something to the effect that entrepreneurs will do what they need to do today. Oh, pardon me, will do what others won't do today to live the life others can't tomorrow.
That's yeah. I 100% agree with that. 100%.
so this is why we do it. This is my biggest why.
Yes.
And the fact that if I have challenges walk in and I have to lie down at an event, I don't apologize for that. But this is my level of determination.
Yeah.
And this is
Amazing.
why Dianna and we're working together on this. We stumble, we fall, but we always get up and we say, now let's do that again.
Amazing. Cool. I like it. So, if anybody's on this call has some questions here for Brian and Diana, or for me,
Go
feel
for it.
free to post it into the question box. We'd love to hear from you. Um, Let me see. I see a couple questions that were answered. So, Oystein, I hope you pronounced your name right. The ebooks, what type of ebooks? These are ebooks that actually are tailored towards their target market, which are baby boomers. So they will create an ebook or free report that will actually help or add value in the life of a baby boomer. And correct me if I'm wrong, Brian and Diana, but this is something that we just discussed.
That's right.
Brian and
Yes, that's right.
Brian and Diana actually are also, yeah, Patrick, they are platinum members. They started as platinum members in January, and they still are today. Let me see. Peggy, we kind of touched this topic in the beginning of the call, but it wouldn't hurt to say it again. How did you guys decide on MOBE versus other program you may have looked at?
There's a couple of factors that came into play, and I think the biggest one was everybody gets a coach. I think when people purchase the MTTV package, and now the programs, you're kind of left on your own. But with this one, for the 21 steps, you have a coach, a life coach with you that walks you through and encourages you and shows you the tools and the system as to how it works. And I think out of everything we had seen previously, that was probably, and I know Diana from your perspective here, that is something again that you liked.
Yes, absolutely. I've gone through the 21 steps as well after Brian had them. I didn't do it with the coach, but I went through so that I could learn everything about the business as well. And I was extremely impressed with the level of training that was in the 21 steps, but also with the coaching that continues afterwards. You're not just left out to dry. You've got help with learning how to get traffic. You've got help learning every step of the way with all the uh, different video trainings, as well as the personal one-on-one trainings, whatever it is you need or however you learn the best, there is something there to help you, guide you through every step of the way. No matter what your level of expertise is, there's somebody there that can help you.
Oh, I was unmuted, so let me repeat that. I think in life it's very, but
Not
I think in
always
life it,
that.
yeah, it's, sometimes I also have my technical flaws. But in life, I think it's important to have a coach, because if you really look at it, when you got born, you had your mother and your father as a coach. When you play a sport, whether it be basketball or soccer or football, you have a coach. You play tennis, you have a coach. So whatever you do in life, there's always somebody that's already walked that path, and you can learn from, model from, and grow from. So having a business opportunity here where you have a coach that has walked your path, you know, utilize it. we have calls every single day, the Traffic Masters Academy calls every single day that will teach you on how to utilize certain traffic mediums. So if you are interested in that, you can actually go to mobeoffice.com/members, and you can attend these calls for free. So you will see them under the daily call sections. They teach on PPC, they teach on banner ads, they teach on solo ads, Facebook, a lot of stuff actually. But utilize it, because these are guys that are doing it every single day, and they can teach you how to use it. And if it's brand new to you, don't get overwhelmed, because we have these calls every single day. And if you have questions, feel free to ask them on the calls, because that's why we have those coaching calls. So
Even
yeah.
Ask Matt Lloyd. There's a lot of great tips in AskMattLloyd.com.
Oh, certainly, yes. I mean, these are real questions that people send him every single day, like to his Facebook, to his email, to his Skype sometimes if they get a hold of him there. These are real questions that are being asked to Matt Lloyd, and he's taking the time every single day to answer these questions. So definitely, check it out, askmattloyd.com to get some valuable content. Also, I have a personal note for you, Brian and Dianna, from Thomas Dirksen. He says, I joined MOBE in February, and also 50-pluser. He lives in Alberta, and I would love to meet up with you guys. So we'll just forward his name to you guys, and maybe you guys can meet up.
Sure thing.
Sure thing. Does anybody have any more questions for Brian, Dianna, or for myself? Then this is the moment to ask. And otherwise, we're going to call it a night. And basically, I'm going to thank Brian and Dianna for taking their precious time of your night and coming on this call and sharing your story, and also sharing your strategies on how to build MOBE and how you're moving forward with MOBE, and opening up to us here in MOBE land, to say it like that.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure coming, and if anybody else has any questions, let's hear them.
I look forward to hearing any comments that you have about the blog as well.
I see here, Linda says, inspiring. Thank you for taking time to share your story and encouraging us.
Thank you, Linda.
David, you're saying, see my points above. Could you maybe retype what your points were, so we can mention it on the webinar? Let me see. All right, so Leslie, you're asking, if there are many ads for the same event, what can you do to stand out? First of all, what you could do is add a bonus to your ad. So, when somebody is promoting the same event or the same offer, something that, what worked for me in the past and still is working for me today, and for a lot of other people that are making money, is offer a bonus. You could say, if you buy MTTB for $49 today from me, I will send you a book, an Amazon book. You can pick one of these 3 books, and I will send it to you, because even if you spend maybe $20 to send that book to that person, you still are left with that $24.10 in commissions, plus a potential upgrade to MLR, Titanium, and Platinum based on your positioning. So what I would definitely recommend, if you want to promote something, whether it be an event, whether it be an offer, is to actually have a cool bonus in place, and even a couple of bonuses. Why don't you just go overboard and basically you could even offer something that's more valuable than $44. It's gonna cost you. It's gonna have it's gonna be some out of pocket cost. But if you look at the numbers and the conversions, you will recoup that money in the back end. So I hope that makes sense, Leslie.
And of course, one of the things also that if you can also give away is your time. What you can do is you can offer an hour of coaching. Somebody comes on board with you, and you can say personal one-on-one coaching with you, and we can kind of walk you through the various steps in addition to the coach that you get with the 21 steps. But I think to be personally coached with your sponsor, that could also help somebody out.
Most definitely, yes. You can even add that. You could add a book. You can have a 30-minute coaching call. You could add an ebook. You just download the PLR article or something that could be very helpful to a person, and you could rebrand it to your name. offer that as a bonus. There are so many things you can really offer as a bonus. Maybe you already have your own product and you can give that away to to somebody that buys MCTV. For example, John Chow, what he does, if somebody buys MCTV, he gives them access to a private membership area where he teaches certain things about internet marketing. He gives them access to, I believe, a certain software. And I also know that he's giving away a free WordPress install. So if somebody is buying MCTV, he will give you basically a blog to get started with to blog because that's his main traffic strategy. So these are things that are pretty, easy to get, but it will definitely help you to get more sales. So Gil here, you're asking who's the guy from Alberta. I will send you the name here in a private note.
Thank you.
I see Vincent says, thank you, Brian, Diana, this was very inspiring. Jose says, thank you for your wisdom. Gil says, thank you, Brian and Diana, you're inspiring. And here I have David saying, all right, so David is saying, tip, don't try all social media, just one or two to start. And Patrick is saying, thank you very, very much. You give me more hope. So, all right, here we go. More
You're
notes.
welcome.
All right, Leslie says, thank you. We are only MLRs. Even if you're MLR, Leslie, that's totally fine. You can definitely still offer a bonus because if you think about it, even if you spend $50 to acquire a customer of $49 and you get $44 in commissions, or even if you spend $100, right? You spend $100 to acquire a customer of $49. If you look at the conversion numbers, you will see that you can still recoup that investment on the back end. Obviously, if you're generating quality traffic. Let me see. Is it reasonable to ask a person to? Is it reasonable to ask the person who got you to send for help? Yeah, of course. You can definitely have them ask for help. I mean, what Brian is saying that in addition to the coach, you will basically be a second person. Like you could say like, hey, I signed you up to this program, so I will be responsible for you to help you get started and make sure that you have that first contact with the coach who's gonna take you to the exact same 21 steps that I've been through myself. So you could be that guiding hand that shows them the way to their coach and to their 21 steps. And if they have any questions, they could ask their coach, but now they also have a second contact point, which would be you. So they have two different perspectives on the content. So Leslie again says, thank you for input. Very good. All right. So it seems that we have a couple of Canadians here. A guy is also asking for the guy here in Alberta. Guys, if you want, you can also just make a post in the MLR group and to connect with each other. But I will see if I can pass the names around here within the chat.
Thank you.
Michael says thank you and good day from Australia. And Peggy says thank you both. See you at the Vegas seminar. She will be there for sure. That's awesome.
Thank you very much.
Leslie, yeah, you can do an ebook indeed. Coaching, you say that you're very new and don't have much knowledge yet, but I always say, it doesn't necessarily has to be internet marketing related. All right. You could also think about a certain skill set or a certain knowledge piece that you have that you could help people with. So, for example, right? I'm just saying something, for example, like if somebody starts a business, they don't necessarily have a corporation set up yet. And maybe they don't have it because they don't know how to do it, or they don't know which state they need to do it, or what comes with it. And let's say now that's actually your job, your profession. You could utilize that profession and actually give that away as a bonus, that knowledge. So it doesn't necessarily have to be knowledge on internet marketing. It could also be something similar or related to that will still add value in that person's life and journey. All right. And then we have Ruth that says, thank you for your interesting information. David says, I reached out to my sponsor who didn't respond. Sometimes a sponsor is they just want to acquire customers, but necessarily don't want to be following up on the customers. And that's totally fine. It's not 100% their responsibility. And I know that some people will say, hey, that's actually not correct. I feel that it should be their responsibility. But then again, it's still a form of affiliate marketing where you advise somebody to buy something, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they have to do that follow up. And you don't 100% need them. We still have coaching in place from our business coaches, from our traffic coaches. We have a support team that is ready to help you and support you. So if you have any questions, feel free to use those mediums. And we also have the Facebook group that you can ask questions in. All right. John says, thank you, Brian and Dianna.
Thank you.
Here, I got a question from Gil. No, that's not their sponsor, Dianna. Their sponsor is Darren and Rhonda.
That's right.
And they live in the same city.
Hi, guys.
Alrighty. So if you guys have any more questions for Brian and Dianna, they're still here, so keep them coming. If not, we're going to close out the webinar and wish you all a great night. Alrighty. Brian, Dianna, you have anything to say? Any last words, any thoughts, any inspiration, any empowerment for the people on the webinar?
Yes. Don't quit. You're going to go through the ups and downs. You're going to go through a lot of downs. People are fickle. People take a look at something, say, oh, this isn't good or that's not good, or, just don't quit.
One of the advantages that Brian and I have is that in working together, we found that very seldom do we both have a down day at the same time. It's natural that we're going to have days when we just don't feel at our best. But if you've got somebody there to help and support you, whether they're working with you in your business or whether it's just a good friend, somebody that you can call up and say, hey, I need to talk, I need to vent, I need to do something here just to get you back online. Find that. Get that support system behind you for those bad days, because they will happen.
Yeah, not every day's a good day.
But you've got to find a way to bring yourself back up again and say, you know what, I'm in this for the right reason. I've got goals, I've got plans, I've got things that I need to do, things that I want to do, and there are people out there that need to hear my story. We've all got a story to tell. Get your story out there. Figure out what your why is. Why are you in this business? What is your goal? What do you want to do most out of this? And get that story out there to other people.
And that's it.
That's it.
That's a wrap. Thank you very much.
Awesome, guys. I'm very glad that you guys shared some of your time here on this webinar. I actually have a special gift there for you guys. So there's 2 people here that want to say hi to you guys.
Oh, who's that?
Hi, Brian and Dianna.
Hey, Brian. Darren here.
Oh, hey, guys. How you doing?
Darren and Rhonda.
Yes.
Good to hear you.
So for the people listening, Darren and Rhonda actually is the sponsors of Brian and Dianna. Actually, this is a pretty impressive number, but Rhonda herself, she actually just claimed the $250,000 level in MOBE, and is actually rising very fast as a female entrepreneur in MOBE. So she's catching up with a couple others like Michelle Pescosolida and Caroline Milan. And then we also have Darren, who is the face of the Redshift marketing team, who actually just crossed the $5.5 million.
About 5.4, I think.
$5.4 million in MOBE. So both of them will also be in the Supercharged Summit in Las Vegas. So again, if you guys are interested and on the fence of going to the Supercharged Summit, definitely make sure that you make it out there to Las Vegas, because you will be able to connect with Rhonda, you'll be able to connect with Brian, you'll be able to connect with Dianna, with Darren, and any other people in MOBE that are making it happen. So definitely, if you're on this fence, just go to Supercharged Summit in Las Vegas. And let's see, we have a couple more questions here. Oh, Chandra, Rhonda is my sponsor too. Well,
Yes.
hi, Chandra.
Yes.
All right, guys, we're gonna wrap it for tonight. I wish you all a great night. If you have any more questions, feel free to send it to affiliates@mobe.com. Thank you very much for being here with us. Thank you again, Brian Dianna, for your story, and we see you in the groups in Facebook or at the Supercharged Summit in Las Vegas.
Thank you.
Thank you, Yannick.
Have a
Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I